This is a bit of a weird one for me. I'm not really used to talking to the camera, but I figured this was worth putting out there because it's the sort of content I like watching. Nobody knows me. My name's Kieran and I'm a vintage watch dealer, kind of on the side as a bit of a hustle whilst I'm still going through uni. And I've just had a watch arrive that I've kind of sourced for a lady who's looking to gift her husband to be a watch on their wedding day. I just thought I'd open it up on camera and stick it out for the world to enjoy. Let's get on with it and show you what we've got here. Right, here we go. Back to the package. I couldn't figure out how to flip my camera around. There's no movie magic. I have opened this already just to check that everything's all right. Thankfully it is. You never really know when you've bought a watch, but the whole thing with dealing and buying is you buy the seller more than asking questions and being unsure of what you've got coming in the post. So I already knew that this was something I could count on as something this lady might enjoy. There we go. Look at that, 33 millimeters of lovely vintage Omega. Reference number is 166.052. So a lovely constellation from, I believe, the 70s. I'm yet to kind of I've not opened it up yet to check dates with the serial number. But it's quite a pretty piece and very, very similar to what my client had kind of requested. She wanted a silver dial, steel case, which is an excellent choice when you're going for something for your wedding day, because it's just going to be something that is timeless and you're never going to get sick of. It's on a lovely new lizard skin effect leather strap. And as I say, that 33 millimeters is just perfect. I'll try it on the wrist in a second and show you what that looks like, and also get it in the light to check out that dial a bit better. So here we go with this constellation on the wrist, and I think you can agree in the light, the proportions and just the elegance of the dial layout. It's a really lovely little dress watch. Excuse my kind of scrappy garden in my little London student flat, but this is what we're aiming for with the company, to source watches that kind of fit the needs of the client. And hopefully when she gets back to me about this piece, it's all going to be going through as a deal that she's very happy with and her husband's going to enjoy. So a little bit about my company that I've started. Massive gamble in the middle of a master's degree. I'm currently studying the Royal College of Music in London, and as many people do, they start a bit of a side hustle or a side project to have some kind of security when they're also working as a freelancer. And for me, my thing has always been watches and silver jewelry. Just, I think mostly from a design point, I just love the aesthetic of 60s, 70s jewelry, silver, that sort of thing. And with a hospitality background, I've just always loved talking to people, and it's kind of pointing me towards, I'd quite like to do some sales stuff. So my site is Watches of Wimbledon, is what I've set up to kind of make a little bit of a base for myself and hopefully go towards a very flexible and interesting and exciting career as a vintage watch dealer whilst also being a musician. So a little bit more about this watch. It's quite a rare reference. They don't come up too often for this kind of constellation. It's got a caliber 1001 automatic movement in it, which is very reliable, just with the date complication. It's got this beautiful little raised kind of 70s bubble for the date window. It's just so classy. It's not raised like the like the kind of Rolex Cyclops. It's flat, which I just think looks incredible with this very flat bezel and extremely 70s case as well. And I think, you know, again, with this client looking for a wedding watch, going with stick indexes and as little on the dial as possible is just such a great choice, because you just can't get sick of it, especially when the dial matches the case material. That's always what I found in the past. Bit of a shame it doesn't have the original Omega pin buckle. I'm going to speak to her and see if that's something that she'd like to add. I'd either try and source a buckle separate, or you know, hopefully an authentic strap, because it would also be nice to be printed with Omega branding rather than just a generic aftermarket leather. But again, that all is kind of subject to price. Part of this deal is that I'm going to be sourcing as much of a full set as I can. And by that I mean, you know, a vintage period correct box with an outer box. Also hopefully some paperwork, which, you know, if it doesn't come with the watch, then it's difficult to find afterwards. But you know, eBay is a bit of a minefield, but it does come up with some very good stuff at times. So I'm hoping that will have some kind of original pamphlets and, you know, some things that I can add to this lovely watch that make a very nice package for this client's wedding day. So this is going to be a very rough and ready first video to put out into the world. I've had a YouTube page for years just as a bit of a music thing, but so I'm accustomed to the odd little video that needs to be put together and put out there, but this is a bit of a passion project that has grown very quickly in about 6 months. You know, I'll put a link to the Instagram page in the bio of this video. Please feel free to check it out. You know, it's a very music-based watch site, lots of pretty pictures of guitars and pianos, that sort of thing, to hopefully stand out and be a bit of a different voice in the watch scene, which is growing quite rapidly. And you know, there's even younger people like me giving it a go. But I'm very much at the beginning, and I think it'd be nice to document this. And I'll take you along to college, to the university, to see where I store the watches, show you some more watches of, you know, from our first batch. Started this all with 7 Omegas from the 50s, 60s, 70s, all stuff that I really love, to hopefully, you know, get behind and sell what I know and what I enjoy, hoping that other people kind of pick up on that and, you know, start checking out vintage pieces again. My tagline with all the Instagram posts has been join the 34mm club, which is kind of, you know, in reference to bringing back all these really beautiful, classy, smaller dress watches, which I think you can agree they just trump all the new stuff, and they're built to last. You get these things serviced and they just keep running. So I hope you enjoyed that first little vlog, the little unboxing of this beautiful Constellation. I still can't figure out how to flip my camera around. So that is what that is, and it's very nice to meet all of you, and I hope you enjoy the videos to come. So here's some kind of bonus features to that video. You know, trying to put something together that hopefully looks interesting and engaging for people. Especially because this whole kind of venture is very exciting for me. It's extremely new, and as I said at the start of the video, a massive gamble as well, being you know, in my mid-20s, finishing a master's degree that's costing me a huge amount of money. To take the risk and kind of put a lot of it into watches and starting a new business is something that people, you know, wouldn't usually take the you know, the kind of chance with. but it's something I've really enjoyed so far, and is something that I feel represents a real passion for me, which is jewellery, style, and ultimately helping people find these lovely vintage watches at a really good price. So if you want to, feel free to ask any questions in the comments, which can, give me something to work on for future videos. I plan on, as I say, showing you some of the stock we have at the moment, and a bit more backstory on myself and why I've started doing this crazy venture. But as I say, I hope you enjoyed finding out a bit about myself, a bit about Watches of Wimbledon, and follow along to see how this whole thing works out. And a final little add-on, just remember to check the description for a link to the website, see what we've got at the moment.